championship so close you can taste it.
Oliver Askew has won the Freedom 100.
Side by side. And your new champion, Christian Rasmussen. And we're about set to go racing for 75 laps. We'll bookend this road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires with USAC competition for you. USAC midgets sitting on pit lane getting set to go. What a race that was in the Silver Crown. I know USAC claims him, but we'll take Cody Swanson as well. He's a Freedom 90 winner last year, Pat. So
You're darn right he is.
We'll
They ran
take him.
over at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
He did. Yeah, indeed.
And he found out that that's a different oval with the cars that he was paired with.
Indeed, no doubt about it. But yeah, great to have Cody with us here last year. I love that pass he made for the race win. And again, we'll see the midgets later on. Great to have all you people back out here as well. I know that many of you here soldiered through last night, realized the rain was coming, but to see you back here on a fantastic Saturday afternoon. Carb Night Classic kind of morphing itself, Pat, back into the night before the 500. I like it. This race many times, of course, a Saturday night show. Last number of years here on Friday night. Saturday afternoon for you. Drivers getting things dialed in here now. Michael D. Orlando will lead him to the start. And again, pole sitter on the bottom part of the racetrack. As you saw, I think if you watched Indy Pro 2000, the bottom not the greatest place to be. That leader's got to get enough of a jump to be able to clear the guy beside him to be able to come high. If he gets pinched to the bottom, if Prescott Campbell can get a good enough jump on D. Orlando to hold the top, that's when things it gets interesting, when the leader's got to stay to the bottom. Got a lot of rookie drivers here that have never been here before, and I think that's kind of crucial. Chase Denmark, first time ever in the Freedom 75, 4th. Spike Kohlbecker, 11th. Rowe, 12th. Christie, 12th. Christie, 13th. Fraser, 14th. Jackson, 15th. Netvu, 16th. We got nothing but rookies mid-pack. So hold your breath for the first couple of laps. I guarantee you every parent in the paddock's going to do the same thing. I guarantee you every spotter's on top just trying to calm their driver down. Take it easy. Get through the opening couple, 5 laps. Get some heat in these tires. Find out where you slot in, and we'll go to work. We'll take care of the tires for the young drivers. It's all about just trying to get through this race. Put this one in your vernacular. Put this one in your resume. Get comfortable. Get a feel for it. Don't throw it away. Awesome field of drivers. 24 strong in USF 2000. And I think we're getting ready to go racing. Indeed we are. Pace car heading off into the pit lane. Folks, we're ready to go with the Freedom 75. Michael D. Orlando on the pole. Prescott Campbell on the outside. The New York driver and the Californian. 2 drivers from Pabst Racing on row number 2, and they're stacking it up. We're going to get set to go racing here, folks. D. Orlando has the points. Aaron Likens waiting to pull the green flag as we get started with the Freedom 75. Green, green, green. Good start for D. Orlando. Christian Brooks trying to get to the bottom. He will. Big butt move to the bottom for Christian Brooks. He's going to go up to potentially P3. Everyone on cold tires. Brooks trying to get a good run on the outside inside there. It's, I believe, Pearson or Denmark up top. It's still him to the bottom. Brooks trying to make a move here early. Good start here for D. Orlando as he's able to go to P1. Campbell slots into second. Brooks trying to go at it here right now with a 12 of Kiko Porto. We're 2 wide further back. Good so far through the opening circuit of 75. Christian Brooks slotting into P4. Able to get 1 spot on the get. Here comes Porto to the bottom of the racetrack as well. One driver moved back pretty significantly at the start of that one. As they come across the line to put lap number 2 in the books. Pabst Racing had drivers 3rd and 4th at the start, and indeed was Josh Pearson who slotted back into 7th position. Even sooner, Murthy, I believe, able to slip by his teammate as well. Pearson just 15 years of age. They're side by side. Pearson to the bottom, Sooner Murthy to the top. Prescott Campbell having a good run so far. Little bit of a wiggle at the bottom there for Josh Pearson as he's trying to get the spot away from Sundermurthy, the point leader. Look at Prescott Campbell, the D-Force Racing Machine, rolling up here on the leader. Sundermurthy able to get the job done on Josh Pearson, but Josh back to the bottom again. Car drifts high, mid-corner. Behind them, pretty good battle as well between, I want to say, Nolan Siegel and Matt Round-Garrido. Yeah, Round-Garrido's on the top side, Siegel's on the bottom. That's going to be the fight for 9th and 10th. Round-Garrido getting a better run out of the corner, but Siegel's got position at the bottom. Here comes the 5 as well. Spike Kohlbecker on Dylan Christie. Little mid-corner bobble there for Siegel. Had to correct. Going to give Round-Garrido some better speed coming out of the corner. And indeed, he'll take the spot. Siegel looking back to the bottom again. Battle up front. Prescott Campbell getting a feel for the race car. Winner at Barber Motorsports Park. Jace Denmark, P3. Rookie in the program. Never been here before. 3rd spot. Obviously an inspiring car. Confidence inspiring for Jace Denmark. Let's have a look at the battle here now. I think I want to say that's for 7th. That's Josh Green in the bottom of Josh Pearson. That's the fight for P7 indeed. Green to the bottom. Pearson still holding that top side. Let's see if Josh Green can get the position coming down the back straightaway as he is in the bottom of the racetrack here. Doesn't get a big jump to the bottom. You got to get a little more of a shoot into the bottom here. Trying to get the clear, very close to Prescott Campbell. Further back as well, Dylan Christie and Spike Kohlbecker going at it. That's for 11th. Kohlbecker to the bottom. Nolan Siegel still working on Matt Round-Garrido. Green not able to get by Pearson. Man, we got a lot of side-by-side racing. Surprising. 75 lapper for the drivers here in USF 2000, the first rung of the road to Indy. Many of these drivers coming out of top-level national karting events, potentially F1600, some from F4. Just getting started in that journey. The quest to try to become the next star of the NTT IndyCar Series. Indeed, the good scrap further back. Pearson's going to go by and go back in position. Josh Green now goes to the top side. Pearson trying the bottom. I think Green's quicker. Yeah, he's going to get a better run out of the corner. Behind them, 2x2. And that is 9th and 10th, 11th and 12th. Matt Round-Garrido side by side for a while there with Nolan Siegel. Same goes further back with Dylan Christie and Spike Kohlbecker. Kohlbecker to the bottom of Christie. I think he's going to get the job done here momentarily. Kohlbecker. A lot of experience for Kohlbecker. Started his racing car career in Canada with Exclusive Autosport, the Canadian Formula Ford Series. Then moved to Europe, ran there as well with the British Formula Ford. Ended up doing the Toyota Racing Series as well down in New Zealand. And then F4 last year. First season here in USF 2000 for Spike Kohlbecker in the Ignite Autosport with Cape Motorsports entry. Seventh and 8th still dicing it up. Josh Green and Josh Pearson. Green took the spot, but Pearson continues to push. Little defensive move to the bottom there for Green into 3 as he drives mid-track, try to take that corner. Hasn't been able to pull away from Pearson yet. And Nolan Siegel still fighting it out with Matt Round-Garrido. Siegel looks pretty good. I think if he were able to pull away and get out front, he may be able to pull away. He seems a bit faster, but Round-Garrido using that top side of the racetrack, taking care of the tires. That's key. When you run that bottom line too much, you punish the fronts. You're going to lose it late in the race. From what I see, most cars looking pretty stable. Nathan Bird and Trey Burke dicing it out here for 22nd, running together on track. Bird in the Legacy Autosport machine. Burke going to the bottom here in the Joe Dueling Autosport, number 63. Peter Vedanovich, the Kiwi, something very different from Peter, coming from Tin Top Sports Car Racing, then jumped into the Toyota Racing Series now with Jay Howard Driver Development. So definitely a learning year for the Kiwi, Peter Vedanovich. 17 laps in the books, 75 lapper. Michael D'Orlando, let's go back onto the leader a little bit here. Putting really good lap times down. Prescott Campbell with the fastest lap at 22.511, but both drivers 22.8 last time by. Prescott Campbell potentially looking to just settle in here. First podium last year at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Got a win, though, start of the season at Barber Motorsports Park. It hasn't been quite as easy since then for Prescott. Hasn't got himself back into the top 5, I believe, for the rest of the season thus far. Second place finish would be great for his confidence moving forward. Again, our next race, Road America. Just over a month's time. The road to Indy next, taking the Indy Lights drivers to the Detroit Grand Prix. Only lights there on the street circuit. Other two categories, USF 2000 Indy Pro, looking at Road America. So D'Orlando with 20 laps in and 55 to go, starting to think about the first drivers in lap traffic. It'll be Peter Vedanovich. We saw what it did with the battle in Indy Pro. Let's see what D'Orlando's got. First time through, a little wiggle mid-corner there. Just trying to set things up. Gets a big run down the back straightaway on Vedanovich. He'll head to the inside of the racetrack. Almost clears him going into the corner, allows him to get higher on the exit. That's going to be nice for him, trying to set the pick. As Prescott Campbell then right to the bottom. Prescott looked good on the bottom there. Made quick work of Vedanovich. Mentioned that before, though. Most drivers will put up a big fight to the leader to stay on the lead lap. Once they've gone down a lap, the drivers in second are going to get an easier time of it. Next up for D'Orlando will be the scrap between Nathan Bird and Trey Burke. A lot of great racing further back as well. Matt Round-Garrido now running in 10th. Dylan Christie 11th. Spike Kohlbecker 12th. Miles Rowe in 13th. And 14th is Billy Fraser. Those 5 drivers all running together. Matt Round-Garrido finally losing the spot to Nolan Siegel, and as I expected, no one able to slide by. But here goes Spike Kohlbecker now to the inside of Dylan Christie. Kohlbecker's been trying to get this done all race long. He's going to pitch him to the top. Oh, super close on the exit of 4. This is Kohlbecker trying to force the issue here a little bit. I think he potentially has it finally. Yeah, he'll go back up the racetrack. Christie's going to go to the bottom now. Dylan Christie now going at Spike Kohlbecker. He gets a really good run mid-corner, but watch out coming out of the corner here. Nice run for Christie. Right on the gearbox of Matt Round-Garrido, and Christie slides through. The slide job to take the spot back away, and here comes Miles Rowe in the Force Indy number 99. Seeing the battle in front of him. He runs currently in the 13th spot. Billy Fraser right behind him. Christie's going to go by Matt Round-Garrido. Wow. Dylan Christie looked like he was going to go back to 12th. Stepped right up and went back by Kohlbecker, and then went right by Matt Round-Garrido. So move Christie now to 10th. Round-Garrido going backwards here now as Kohlbecker down to the bottom. Matt's got the top side, but Kohlbecker trying to get the job done. In fact, clears him coming out of turn 4. Here's your top 10 right now. D'Orlando, your leader. Campbell second. Denmark third. Christian Brooks in 4th. 5th is Kiko Porto. 6th is Juven Sooner Murthy. 7th, Josh Green. 8th, Josh Pearson. 9th, Nolan Siegel. And 10th, Dylan Christie. As they run on the racetrack, I want to say Christian Brooks potentially retaking the point lead. I don't know. I don't think that's correct, actually. I'm going to change that. I don't think that's messed up. I think there's something wrong there with the points on our live timing. It says that Brooks would have 192 points, but he came in with 138, so that's just not going to happen. So obviously an issue there. We'll refrain from calling points if we can't give you something decently accurate. Good run here right now as well for Billy Fraser, the Kiwi, as he's starting to put the pressure now on his teammate Matt Round-Garrido. That is the fight now for 12th and 13th. Dylan Christie just set his fast lap of 22.674. Not surprising. Able to get out. First able to get by Kohlbecker, having lost the spot. Leaders now working their way through Nathan Bird and Trey Burke. Leaders still very close together. Jace Denmark not that far back either. Prescott Campbell, fast lap of the race on lap 3 at 22.5, but 23.2 as they work their way through traffic. Prescott Campbell's looking really good here to me. Like there's an opportunity that he may be able to get a race win. I know D'Orlando looking good out front, but really impressed right now with Prescott Campbell, how he has just stayed there, took care of the tires. Maybe 3 or 4 car lengths back, getting cleanly through lap traffic. Here goes Billy Fraser trying to get to the inside of his teammate Matt Roungarito. That's the 2 exclusive Autosport drivers. Akiko Porto trying to reel up here on Christian Brooks as well. Getting by some lap traffic, continuing to work on it. Jace Denmark, the rookie, now closing up here on Nathan Bird. Leaders within a couple of car lengths. It's Bajoy Garg, I believe, the next up for Michael D'Orlando in the White Cape Motorsports number 4. Going into turn number 3 right now, 3 and 4. Look at Prescott Campbell thinking about the bottom of the racetrack. We may have a pass for the lead here pretty soon. Campbell close, trying to leverage the lap traffic. Prescott Campbell all over the gearbox. Out of turn number 2. Not even quite to the halfway point yet. Parker Thompson talked about it at the start of the pre-show how physical this race is. It does beat up your body. You get the arm pump in the right hand. But the mental focus required for success here in the Freedom is so important. Campbell, great job to get by Bajoy Garg. Now they're closing up on Michael Myers, I believe, and Ken Vaccaro. Those drivers did a great job staying high on the racetrack. D'Orlando is through. They're by Myers now as well. Yeah, Bajoy Garg, Michael Myers, the number 8 as well of Jackson Lee. All those drivers through. Christian Brooks having a little trouble getting by Nathan Bird. Got caught up coming out of turn number 2 a little bit. Bird needs to get to the high side. Brooks trying to run the bottom of the racetrack. He's struggling to get by now. Kiko Porto trying to leverage that. Brooks to the inside of Bird. Porto's right there, as is the 22 of Sundaramurthy. Josh Green's come up into the fight too. What a scrap there now. That's the fight for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Sundaramurthy, point leader, running in the 6th position, starting to get a little antsy, I think. Josh Green in the 33 will go to the bottom as well to get by Nathan Bird. Leaders separated by 4 car lengths going down the back chute. Miles Rowe as well. Let's go back a little deeper. Miles Rowe is closed up to Billy Fraser as well. So Roungarito 12th, Billy Fraser 13th, Miles Rowe 14th, and Eli Navarro as well in the number 1 and 15th spot. They're nose to tail. There's some really good battling throughout this entire field right now. A couple of clusters of drivers. Keying on the leaders, though. They've got more lap traffic in front of them that they're going to have to get to. It's going to be Vaccaro, Stammer, and Nepvu as they try to roll up on 16th, 17th, and 18th. And maybe the only saving grace for Michael D'Orlando, 2 of those drivers as teammates at Cape Motorsports. Miles Rowe now to the bottom as he's trying to get by Billy Fraser. There's a lap car in front of them. Fraser gets a better run out of the corner. He's going to try to go by Roungarito, use the pick. Roungarito down to the bottom. They're getting by Vedanovich. Oh, they check it up a little bit. Roungarito had to check up mid-corner, and they are stacking up behind him. It's Billy Fraser. They're 3 wide coming down the front straightaway. Navarro's going to stick it in there as well. Miles Rowe to the bottom of the racetrack. What a battle here right now. This is for 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Roungarito, Rowe, Fraser, and Eli Navarro. Rowe the bottom now. Got to keep your lane. Probably close enough to clear, and he does. Runs mid-corner to try to hold him off into turn one. This is some great racing. Interesting about Miles Rowe, of course, part of the Penske's race for diversity and change equality. He's been actually working with some guy named Rick Mears.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good, I hear. Definitely a mentor you want to have. I saw Rick talking to Miles after an incident at Barber Motorsports Park. Just that calming voice of Rick Mears that can just give you that little bit of advice here and there. Obviously, the guy's a legend of the Speedway. And to be able to give back to a driver like Miles Rowe, impressive. And Miles having a good run here now, able to get by Billy Fraser, now going to work on Matt Round-Garrido. 45 laps in, 30 to go. 30 more laps remaining. Leaders now closing up here on a bunch of lap traffic. Let's put it this way. That battle for four I just talked about, plus four more cars, that's what the leaders got to go through now. D'Orlando to the bottom of Kent Vaccaro. Here goes Prescott Campbell. How about 3 wide to turn 3? Not quite, but Campbell getting aggressive. He is showing the wheel on Michael D'Orlando. Oh, big wiggle for Miles Rowe, mid-corner of 1 and 2, as he's doing everything to get by Matt Round-Garrido. But for the leaders, as we count down the laps, they've got themselves a battle up front that they're going to have to easily pick their way through. I'm sure Michael D'Orlando, the spotter, telling him what's coming up. There's a battle coming. And it's side by side still. Miles Rowe trying to get by Matt Round-Garrido. And I'll tell you, Round-Garrido's run the high side the entire day. Those tires, I got to think, are going to be in pretty decent shape for the last 15 laps. Rowe side by side through turn number 3 and 4. Going to clear him on the exit. Book it. Miles Rowe moving his way into P12. Been a rough one for Matt Round-Garrido. Just hasn't had a car moving forward. He's got a battle with his teammate now, Billy Fraser, Eli Navarro in there as well. And here come the leaders. Able to get by Evan Stammer. Evan Stammer running in the 17th spot, rookie here in the program. Both D'Orlando and Prescott Campbell through. D'Orlando in the white number 4, Prescott Campbell in that blue and white number 11 for D-Force Racing. Eli Navarro now thinking about trying to find a way by Matt Round-Garrido, because I believe, Billy Fraser in the Cambridge Global Payments machine has got himself into 14th. Here come the leaders. Back up front, D'Orlando the leader. As I said, Campbell runs in second. Third is Jace Denmark. Fourth now Kiko Porto, as he was able to get by Christian Brooks. Trying to find them on the racetrack right now as well. Eli Navarro to the inside of Round-Garrido, and D'Orlando able to get cleanly by Thomas Nepvu. So the leader with a bit of room, and we got a driver slowing on the back straightaway. That is Round-Garrido. I think he's done. Something happened to Matt Round-Garrido, as he is slowed, and he'll head to pit lane. Trouble for the 92 of Matt Round-Garrido, the Englishman. Trying to find this scrap for a little further back. Where's Kiko Porto here? Here's Kiko. Okay, he's on the racetrack front straightaway. He's P4. And there's that next fight. It's Christian Brooks 5th, Yuvan Sundaramurthy 6th, Josh Green 7th. Coming around at 20 to go. Putting lap 54 in the books, 21 laps remaining. Michael D'Orlando holding about 6 car lengths on Prescott Campbell. And D'Orlando has been masterful leveraging the lap traffic. Has had no issues as of yet. Very decisive in getting by. Next up for him will be Eli Navarro. That's the driver running in the 14th spot. As we said, the 92 of Matt Round-Garrido out of the race car already. That's it for Round-Garrido. Tough one for Matt. See him back at Road America. Very talented Englishman. Tremendous run at St. Petersburg earlier this year. On the podium. So with 19 laps to go, Michael D'Orlando leads. Prescott Campbell runs second. Jace Denmark in third. Kiko Porto fourth. Fifth is Christian Brooks. 6th spot, Euban Sunderworthy. 7th, Josh Green. 8th, Josh Pearson. 9th, Nolan Siegel. And 10th is Dylan Christie. Prescott Campbell has not let up at all. He has not been more than 5 or 6 car lengths behind D'Orlando the entire run. Got very close about 15 laps ago in turn number 3, trying to use that lap traffic. Went to the bottom of the track, wasn't quite able to make it stick. Oh, a little wiggle there, a little entry oversteer. Car got super loose on the entry to turn 1 for Prescott Campbell, but he managed it nicely. They've got Eli Navarro in front of them, then Billy Fraser, then Miles Rowe. That'll be the cars that could get lapped before this is all said and done. 17 laps to go. And Campbell within a couple of car lengths. He's going to want to use Navarro. Prescott Campbell. Before COVID, was going to school in Oxford, mechanical engineering. This guy is an absolute genius. When we have our kids on track to our paddock, he's the guy that gives the STEM tours. This guy knows his stuff. If he's not going to end up in IndyCar, he's probably going to end up in a box. He might be a race engineer in Formula One or whatever it may be, but he's a talented driver for sure. Former Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series winner. The champion 2 years ago. Second year in the series here. First year with D-Force Racing. Prescott Campbell. 2 car lengths behind D'Orlando. 61 laps in the book, 14 to go in the Freedom 75. Big run down the back straightaway. Campbell's going to close. Not quite close enough yet to Eli Navarro. He's to within a length and a half. Up on the gearbox. Here comes Prescott Campbell going to the bottom of the racetrack, side by side. Thinking about turn number 2. How's the car feel at the bottom? Pretty good forward bite out of turn number 2. Not quite alongside yet. Got the wing there. Oh, but he dives it in the bottom. Oh, almost contact as D'Orlando running the inside line. Don't see any potential damage, but yeah. Campbell thinking about sending it into turn number 3. And D'Orlando ran a more defensive line. Took a lot of air off the front wing. Campbell got to gather it back up. 12 to go. 12 laps remaining. Pick up some of the other battles on the racetrack right now. There are literally 8 cars coming into the view of your leader, Michael D'Orlando, in the Cape Motorsports machine. Not playing well in terms of the amount of laps we have left. They're going to get to Eli Navarro, potentially getting to Trey Burke as well. Look at Billy Fraser around the outside of Miles Rowe. Fraser getting the spot back. That's for 12th. Oh, and way up high to the turn number 1 marbles. Almost threw it away. Oh, side by side, leaders touch. The leaders have touched. They're connected. They are connected. They are in trouble. Those leaders just connected each other. They are side by side. Look at this. Connected on turn number 2, the contact. Side by side. Prescott Campbell to the bottom. They were locked up coming out of turn number 2. The right front of Prescott Campbell jammed into the right rear, or the left rear rather, of D'Orlando. What kind of damage is residual? Where is Jace Denmark from P3? He's got Kiko Porto closing. What's in the mind of these drivers here? That contact. How much of the damage to the right front for Prescott Campbell? They're still sending it into the opening corners like it's nothing. Denmark getting closed up here by the number 12, Akiko Porto. Campbell threw it in there, and the car drifted up the racetrack on him. That may take the lap traffic out of the issue. 8 laps remaining. Leaders are still pushing hard. In front of them, Peter Vedanovich and Trey Burke. I don't see any damage to Prescott Campbell, but they're definitely going to close up on these 2 that are battling further back. Vedanovich and Burke. Literally fighting for 22nd. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes D'Orlando. Campbell trying to get a better run on him. Got to use the pick. D'Orlando's going to have to go to the bottom here on Trey Burke. And it'll be a topside run Coming out of the corner of the bottom comes Prescott Campbell. Still about 4 car lengths between first and second. They've connected each other. Contact in just 2 laps ago. 5 laps remaining when they come across the line. 5 to go for D'Orlando. He has not put a wheel wrong yet. More lap cars up front. Eli Navarro running 13th, slipping by Nathan Bird. Still more lap cars to contend with. Kiko Portal trying to see if he can't close back up on Jace Denmark. Same goes for Yuvan Sundermurthy behind Christian Brooks. That's a battle for the lead in the championship. Brooks trying to gain some points back on Sundermurthy. Trying to pick up the leaders again down the back straightaway. D'Orlando with a comfortable lead now. You wonder whether or not Prescott Campbell potentially more damage. That right front probably a little weaker than the left rear. Definitely more weight on that rear tire than the right front of Prescott Campbell. Jace Denmark is closing up on Campbell. There's no doubt about it. We may have a battle for second here pretty soon. He's potentially the fastest guy on the track. He is. Jace Denmark from P3, quickest driver on the racetrack. 2 to go this time by. D'Orlando at the bottom of Nathan Bird trying to use lap traffic. Denmark trying to reel in Prescott Campbell. Christian Brooks trying to hold off Yuvan Sundermurthy. That's the battle of the championship. P1 and P3. Kiko Porto in second in the points, trying to see if he can't take over the lead after this race. Leader to the bottom. White flag going to fly this time by. D'Orlando able to slide by the number 6 of Ajoy Garg. Here goes Jace Denmark. We're battling for second. Prescott Campbell throws it into turn number 1 to make sure Denmark doesn't get it. Coming down the back straightaway. Michael D'Orlando trying to get the race win done here. Prescott Campbell able to get by Bird. What a weekend here, Lucas Oil Raceway. And the victory in the Freedom 75 for Michael D'Orlando. Cape Motorsports wins. And from the PA, we can see Michael Sr., Mom Sherry, brother Nicholas. Nicholas, of course, in the F1600 Championship Series. We'll see him in USF 2000 next year. What a big day for the D'Orlando family as they're able to get the win. Michael D'Orlando with the victory, and talk about being challenged all race long. Prescott Campbell put the pressure on for 75 laps. Contact coming through turn number 2. And the 2 drivers were essentially locked together coming down the straightaway. Drivers being very gentle on the steering input, not to try to break the suspension on the cars. Somehow they were able to come out cleanly. Michael D'Orlando with the win, the margin half a second at the line. Prescott Campbell second. Jace Denmark had to look to the inside of Prescott Campbell as well into turn 1 on the final circuit, but Campbell took that midline as well. Just able to hold off the rookie, but what a run for Jace Denmark. That was impressive. Kiko Porto ends up in 4th, Christian Brooks in 5th, Yuvan Sundermurthy in 6th. So I got to think that Kiko Porto, very close. I'm not sure that he takes the point lead away from Sundermurthy. It might still be Yuvan, but a good points haul as well for Christian Brooks. Josh Green comes home 7th, Josh Pearson 8th, Nolan Siegel 9th, and Dylan Christie rounding out the top 10. Wow, that was a heck of a race in USF 2000. We had battles, of course, for the lead. We had fights back for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. We were following scraps for 14th, 15th, and 16th. Drivers going 2 wide. But now that it's done, can't do the commentator curse on it for the 2nd straight year. We go green to checker in both of our races, Pat.
That's the story. With the number of rookies we had in this oval, the performance of both groups in 2 races was spectacular. On that situation where you had the cars hooked together, the number one thing that can happen is have someone panic and get on the brake. You've got to keep the wheels going and be smart, and they did that. Spectacular show.
Yeah, indeed, Pat. Exactly that. All it takes is one person to jump on the wheel or try to jam on the brake to separate it, and you end up getting with broken suspension. So really, I want to say the 1st and 2nd place drivers, Michael D'Orlando and Prescott Campbell, probably just dodging a bit of a bullet there, not only with the contact, but what could have happened afterwards. And indeed, let's head down, folks, to Tatis Victory Lane. Starting with the driver coming home in 3rd place today. What a tremendous drive for the rookie from Pabst Racing. A round of applause for Jace Denmark. First podium in Road to Indy competition for Jace Denmark. A guy to watch in the future. What a tremendous rookie season it's been thus far. Finishing in second, this was race-long pressure. Threw it in turn 3 at one point, then tried it over in turn number 1 and 2 to have that contact. Nonetheless, a tremendous run. Back on the podium, folks, for D-Force Racing, finishing second, Prescott Campbell. Strong run for Prescott, a race winner earlier this year at Barber Motorsports Park. But it's a green to checker victory and a big one. Going to move him up there in the championship. The New York driver coming home for Cape Motorsports, the winner of the Freedom 75, Michael D. Orlando. Yeah, folks, you wonder how he can fit in the USF 2000 car? It's very tight. Let's put it that way. He is tall. A tremendous talent, though. Second year in the series, fourth last year in the championship. He's going to move up significantly here. 45 points for a race win, 1.5 points for our oval events. So, again, capping things off. Michael D. Orlando with the win. Prescott Campbell second. Jace Denmark third in the Champagne flying. They're going after each other in a big way. First time on the podium, the Road to Indy for Jace Denmark, a very impressive young rookie. Prescott Campbell getting back once again after Barber Motorsports Park at the start of the clink of the Champagne. Class acts on the podium. Folks, thank you so much. One more time, a round of applause for the podium here in USF 2000. D. Orlando, Campbell, and Denmark. And that wraps things up for the Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. Lots more racing for you here today, folks. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for getting a chance to watch the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series.